us this morning is the chairman of the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, George Barcelon. He is also president of Integrated Computer Systems, one of the Philippines' top IT solutions providers. Good to see you, George. Welcome to the program.
Kathy, good morning. Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, so let's first tackle the president's 60-day suspension on rice imports. What is the position of the PCCI on this directive?
Personally, I have a bit of concern. Recently we were just hit by a string of typhoons, and the flooding that has occurred in northern Luzon, and June, July are the planting season, and based on the past events, when you have extreme flooding and typhoon, the harvest could be reduced by about 30 to 40%. So having that in mind, then president is banning the importation of rice. No, there might be a shortage, and at the same time, what I'm afraid of is that there might be some hoarder manipulator, wherein the scarcity of rice would happen, and the price would go up. And one of the key issue with the about rice, it's a food commodity, and that's the one that's keeping our inflation rate low. Once you kick up the price of rice, the inflation definitely will go beyond 2 to 3%. I comment many times that the president has the wisdom to balance, the factors as far as cost of living to reduce the inflation to 2%. So with this is my concern that the inflation will not be mitigated, and this is going to fall difficult on the really the low-income earner.
So the PCCI is concerned that there could be hoarding and prices of rice could go up.
Yes,
what then are you intending to tell the president?
Well, given the chance that I'm airing our views through your program, I hope somebody picks it up. But definitely, we will be seeking an audience with Secretary Kiko Laurel, to express what are the impact of limiting our importation. As a matter of fact, last night, I was able to meet the new ambassador of Pakistan. And I was just telling her that if they can help in case there's a need of rice in our country, that they can, because they have excess rice there and they can export. Now, this ban, I don't know it's going to take effect immediately or is it September? I didn't catch it earlier when you mentioned it.
It is September 1st, but then the stated intent really of the import ban is to support the rice farmers. So that's one side from the Department of Agriculture.
Yeah.
And the president is going to use the 60-day period to study whether to raise tariffs on imported rice next. Is the PCCI in favor of reinstating 35% tariffs on rice imports then?
So we have always been supportive of our magsasaka, and then for them to have, get good harvest and earn a good living. But when it comes to a basic commodity such as rice, you have to talk about productivity. If we can import rice cheaper for the hundreds of millions of Filipinos, I have nothing against the farmer. We only have about less than 1 million people in this in the farming. So you're talking about 100 million people that would be burdened by high price of rice. So there's a balance that must be achieved. Of course, in such a situation, we cannot make everybody happy, no? So it's up to the president to see how he would balance things out.
So would the chamber be urging the government then to consider flexible mechanisms such as buffer stock releases, targeted subsidies, or maybe even regional adjustments?
Yes, we will do that. When rice are imported, a part of the excise tax goes to help the farmer, okay? And I remember in the past, they were able to generate maybe 4 billion pesos to help the farmers. Now, I'm not privy on how this funding is able to help them, but I guess with at least there's this mechanism wherein the rice importation helps balance things out with the local farmers.
What then is your advice to the food manufacturers, the retailers and traders during the 60-day window to ensure both compliance and consumer protection?
What I would advise, since the president announced this, for both parties, to really start communicating, okay, and seeing how we can strike a balance. Okay, I don't want to see a shortage of rice also, because definitely it's a marketplace, supply and demand. Once you have a shortage, people tend to hoard, or not even the rice trader, even consumer, they will tend to buy more than what they need. That's another way of hoarding. I mean, they would try to buy 3 months supply, and there would be scarcity of rice in the market. So that's what we have to avoid. We have to avoid the crisis that will happen on the prices of rice. We must be able to have a plan so that there's certainty that there's supply, and the balance and the prices of the rice is affordable.
Well, speaking of another kind of tariff, we cannot avoid 19% tariffs on Philippine exports to the U.S. come effect from later tonight, barring any Trump order. Otherwise, it's also going to mean zero tariff concession on U.S. imports of soy, wheat, autos, and drugs. Apart from the fact that there could be 100% tariffs on chip imports to the U.S. How have you prepared the PCCI members for this new tariff order?
You know that 100% is a shocker, no? The semiconductors and electronics falls under the World Trade Organization Information Technology Agreement, wherein all our exports falling under this category is tariff-free, zero tax, no? But there are other specific products such as wire harness that's used for car manufacturing. It's the tariff rate for that is 25%, but it cuts across all the other countries, no, on that. So we have at least equal footing. We have one of the biggest wire harness, Yasaki Torres, and they're quite concerned about this. And then this surprise of 100%. You know, of course, President Trump has good intention of having manufacturers move to the U.S. Even their Apple that are being manufactured in India, okay, 90% of the components are still manufactured in China. They are only doing the end part of assembly and exporting them to the US, but 90%. And there are experts in this field who made a comment that for US to be self-sufficient on all the components of an Apple computer, Apple cell phone, it will probably take 3-4 years. Now, I'm not an expert in that, no, but the supply chain of that is quite long, and it's quite a highly technical. There are about 100,000 components that goes into a cell phone. So, having said that, of course we would be hit hard because our trade with the U.S. is about 16 billion, but the majority part is electronic and semiconductors, which is about 40% of our exports. And I mean, if they apply everything to the same rate to all the countries, so be it. It will just increase the inflation rate in U.S. But at least as far as competitors are concerned, we're all in equal footing. We can't do anything about it if that's their policy. But this tariff issue has been, in a way, getting murkier and murkier. I don't know how the U.S. citizen will take it, but apparently we just have to look for other markets. Okay, since U.S. only about 16%, majority is semiconductor, electronics, and garments, and also some fruits like a banana and pineapple. No? But they occupy only 16%. We still have 84% of the other export market. And I was just talking to Secretary Chris Roque the other day, and we sort of have the same thinking. Let's just gear up and look for other markets, European markets, or even the Chinese market. Why not? Since we're not getting a free hand with U.S.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, honestly, from the business sector, we were expecting a more favorable tariff rate from the U.S., considering that what we have given what we have, we're all out in supporting U.S. in other aspects, and we thought that with that they would have given us consideration that the rate should be below other countries. We were, optimistic. We were very optimistic that we could get about 15%. So, but after the trip, ang kinaltas 1% lang eh. So, so we just had to live with it. Let's look for other market.
Okay.
I think, to be honest, we're spending too much on this tariff
Okay.
issue.
Well, it's very well articulated. Thank you so much for making the time, George Barcelon, as I know you've got an event to go to,
Thank you.
PCCI.